Welcome back to the channel. Well, now that it has been exposed that there is no new evidence being presented by the Crown and that they are just planning to use the evidence that was gathered and collected by the former DPP. Some people believe that the acting DPP is just following the instructions of the former DPP, who was actually the one who said that if the murder conviction was quashed by the Privy Council, they wanted a retrial and that they were fully prepared for a retrial. But since that DPP was removed and the acting DPP replaced her, basically what we're seeing at the court is that the prosecution looked unprepared. Even when questions was asked about how much the case got cost. Some believe that the DPP wouldn't say it that way. Now that they must say they have located most of the main witnesses and that they are available for a retrial and that they are leaning on also the circumstantial evidence, which is what was gathered by the office of the DPP when the former DPP was the head of the office. I want to know if this acting DPP was a part of the team. But tell me, with all of that, do you believe now that this acting DPP is following the footsteps, the framework, the blueprint that was already laid out by the other DPP? It will left people to wonder, is the former DPP running the show from the shadows? At the moment, the DPP is called, the one in charge now is called an acting DPP. So the other DPP has not really been removed. Somebody's just acting in her place until the government sort out whatever they must sort out. Talk to me in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Now on to the other stories that are making headlines today. Now, the JCF is saying that they are distancing themselves from a statement made by a police DSP calling licensed firearm holders cowards. Now, High Command says that they are distancing themselves from the remarks made by its senior member regarding the licensed firearm holders. Now, during a recent sitting of the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation, Deputy Superintendent Paul Bernard called for residents to embrace community-based policing to address crime and violence in the parish. Now, this controversial statement is seen differently by different people. Now, for one, he noted that there was a void between police and residents, with many of them choosing not to assist the security forces even when they have knowledge of criminal activity. But yet still, these are the same people who say they want a better community. Keep in mind, crime and violence has persisted in certain inner city communities because of the code of silence that most people live by in these communities. Even though everybody business still get talk, but there's a code of silence. DSP Bernard further went on to describe many residents, including licensed firearm holders, as cowards. I'm going to hear that and I will continue the reasoning. You can listen.
Some of the residents, they are cowards as well. If you go there to look for Miss Murphy, they'll see you and video you. But they see the criminals, they say, I'm a G that man, because he can buy my Roman book. Coward. A lot of us are cowards. Even firearm holders inside here. Most of you are cowards. Cowards. And I'll stand here and say that. Tell me when last year a firearm holder shoot somebody. A lot of you are cowards, man. Firearm holders inside here and then go and lock up in their car. A lot of you are cowards. Gonna leave the fight to police alone. So, Mr. Lacharo, a baby. So.
Now, after the statements were made and started to circulate social media, High Command gave their response. It says the comments run counter to the principles and model of the stakeholders' engagement that the JCF rigorously upholds. Stakeholder engagement. Keep it in mind that vigilantism is outlawed on the Jamaican island and in many places across the world. That's why in a superhero shows they normally say law enforcement sometimes also chasing the person in the suit, where if you watch a show, then would be the superhero where I try to save the people. That's because just by putting on the mask and the cape and I try to tackle crime on your own, that within itself is against the law. But this DSP is saying that community initiative should be taken. The community is supposed to want to see the community be safe. They're not supposed to just wait upon law enforcement. And if law enforcement do come, he must say, them not give no assistance to law enforcement. Him say all them want do a call. Make the call, say something did happen. But when law enforcement arrive in these communities, whoever did make the call is nowhere to be found because nobody is willing to give any information to law enforcement. And I just know it stays. Now, according to the constabulary force, the remarks were reckless and not representative of the values and the professional standards of the JCF. High Command says it's currently reviewing the matter with the utmost seriousness. But tell me what you think about that statement of truth. Look a reason. This officer is saying that once upon a time, even in certain communities, people would not stand for certain type of activities. What is also sad to say is that people say when remarks were made by an elected official saying that people would be able to sleep with doors and windows open, it was because it was said that in the community of Tivoli Gardens before Dodos, people used to boast that it was a community where you could sleep with your windows and doors open. It wasn't just because law enforcement did a pass through regularly. It was because the community as a whole would not stand for anybody where I got through nobody window and I try, you know what I mean, broken on nobody place. The community would not stand for it. Once upon a time, you couldn't do this. Once upon a time, you couldn't do anything to the elderly, women and children. You know what I mean? The vulnerable in the community. People in the community would have vexed. You couldn't just stay there. But over time, things change. And someone said not so much for the better. But while people are still willing to call law enforcement and report crimes, even recently JCF did say when they made have the program a deal with them to try to recover illegal firearms from communities that way they must say your illegal firearms are in. Them say a large percentage of the firearms that were recovered because of the assistance of people from the community. People from the community, them tired of crime and violence, tired of the gun violence, and them, see how them don't want the gun in them community no more. And them help out law enforcement. When the situation take place in St. Thomas, when this man, the take away the people in youth, it was with the act of residents and law enforcement that such a massive search took place that the individual fled from that parish to another parish. But because of the awareness across the entire island, people see him and notify the authorities. And he was captured. And the girl was rescued. So in a sense, I guess that's what the DSP are talking about. The way I'm worded probably just never right. Because you can't call licensed firearm holders cowards. Because keep in mind, you can't just, as I say, being a vigilante is against the law. And if you use your firearm as a vigilante, just go out there and try to tackle crime, they will be taking your firearm license. Them tell you all the ways where and the rules of engagement, just like an officer. Your life will be a threat to use that firearm. You can't just take out the firearm and just discharge the firearm. No. They're going to take it away. At the very least, suspend the license. So, when you going to say licensed firearm holders are cowards, I don't know what you expect licensed firearm holders to go do. Based on the rules and the regulation where they tell you when them give you your firearm, your carrier's permit. It is even called a concealed carrier's permit. You can't even carry a gun and make people see it. Too tough. Them can't aware say you have a gun because them a see it outprint by your shirt or something. But it has to be concealed. It's a concealed carrier's permit. And I like police where you can just see them gun in them holster upon them leg. Or them a travel with them gun on them hand. No. Concealed carrier's permit. So when them say you're a coward, the JCF will have to say something about that. Because them no want people start go, they go. You understand? It wouldn't good. But when they talk about community policing, meaning say the community are look out like a community watch. What have to do community watch them? Them don't do them something? And it was never really a thing in the inner city. Truth be told. It was never really a thing in the inner city. And I think in a certain uptown communities, it's still very active. Still very, very active. But in the inner city, it has reached the point where it is no longer men within the community trying to defend the community and protect the community from outside forces we are trying to come in the community and do wrongs in the community. It is the same individuals from these communities that commit majority of the crimes in these communities. And not just statistics, and not just police assessors, common sense. Common sense, man. Nobody now travel from the way out of one part come commit petty crime in the area. I man them from Bowley do it. And if I even man from outer port perpetrate it, a man from inner port calling me. Think about it. Think about it. Be logical. Let's be frank. I said, I them think they happen. So the people now for realize the younger generation of youth, when I think about making money, starting a family and uplift themselves, and I get involved in a criminal activity, they are only doing so to the detriment and for mash up the community. It benefits no one, not even themselves. You hear me say? It benefits nobody, not even themselves. What criminal activity do for your country? You got some people that say, I want to trade then the bigger SM richer fight and buy be a big house and mansion and Benz and Ray. What that do for you? What that do for the people in the inner city? We still not have the mansions and still not have the Benz. That's what I mean by it not do nothing for the country. I not say people in a richer fight, they're not criminal activity. People are richer fight, of course. The power go on rural Jamaica. Whole pa markets buy and crown. Whole pa, you know what I mean? House build up. Some unfinished, some build and a paint. But look on the bloodshed. Look on what else come with that. Look what else that bring to rural Jamaica. Crime and violence never depend on the level in rural Jamaica till the people start do the dialing. Did I believe say the influx of money do that to people because of the mindset? So in a nutshell, that's what I mean when I say it don't do nothing for the country. It benefit on the very few. Less than a handful. But everybody have to deal with what take place with it. You know how much things gone up just because some people start dying and they're willing to spend more money on certain things? Everybody have to deal with the increase of price after that. But then everybody are there. Nah, do nothing for the people. But talk to me in the comment section. Tell me what you think. If you're new to the channel, just a pass through. Click the subscribe icon and then the bell icon. Of course, put it on all. And this is how you know will be notified of our fresh content as soon as fresh content is uploaded and made available for you right here on the platform. The like icon is also in close proximity to the share icon. Drop a like and bust a share. Until the reason again, my sentiments for you and yours are for to live, love and prosper and for to stay tuned.